Welcome to the Time of Your Life with the Baltimore County Department of Aging. I'm your host, Ethel Rasmussen. As always, the Time of Your Life is about sharing resources for living your best life and dedicated to keeping you well informed about the programs and services that are exclusively designed for you. You can also connect with BCDA through the agency's multimedia platforms that include the agency's website, Facebook, the Time of Your Life Digest, Flickr, and Map, as well as an abundance of printed resources. For professionals, please consider viewing posts on LinkedIn for current programs and services to share with clients, residents, or patients, as well as BCDA's professional educational opportunities. Connections to BCDA are stronger than ever, so please take advantage of the many options we offer. I'd like to take this opportunity to wish our viewers a warm and wonderful spring. Today's show focuses on how the Department of Aging and Baltimore County as a whole seek to improve support for caregivers and those they care for. In today's show, I'll be joined by Julie Brophy, Adult and Community Engagement Manager for the Baltimore County Public Library, here to discuss the BCPL's new programming and services geared toward caregivers. Then we'll be joined by Emily Kearns, Dementia Specialist and Coordinator for Dementia-Friendly Baltimore County. She'll be telling us about the latest creative engagement grantees across the county and their diverse array of memory cafes and other innovative programming for both people with dementia and their care partners. But first, BCDA's Caregiver Support Manager, Kathleen Koenig-Stoffel, joins us to tell us more about this year's new grants and community partnerships that are geared toward making caregiving easier, more affordable, and less isolating. Kathleen, thank you for joining us to discuss all of the exciting new resources for caregivers in Baltimore County.
Thank you for having me.
Before we discuss what's new in 2026, could you please tell our viewers about BCDA's Caregiver Support Program?
Sure. The Caregiver Support Program is a program that provides support and resources to family caregivers age 18 and over and older relatives age 55 and older, providing primary care to adult children with disabilities or children under 18 living in Baltimore County. The purpose is to help individuals live in their homes as long as possible. We provide 5 services to caregivers, which includes one-to-one counseling, information and assistance through phone calls, emails, resource sessions in the senior centers, and throughout our 24/7 website, TrueAlta. We provide information services through conferences twice a year, educational presentations, informational tables at events, trainings, and a quarterly newsletter. We also provide a financial stipend once a year, up to 5 years, for respite or supplemental supplies.
Kathleen, it's certainly reassuring to hear Baltimore County is invested in supporting its population of caregivers and those they care for, as evidenced by your program. Now that we've established what the Caregiver Support Program is, could you please tell our viewers about how the county just recently expanded its investment by expanding caregiving support infrastructure?
We have aligned our goals with Longevity Ready Maryland to further support the challenging roles and increased need to support caregivers in the county. We have therefore provided 3 grants to community partners.
It's inspiring to see this investment in improving supports together, especially through partnerships across the county. Could you please tell our viewers about some of this year's grant recipients?
Yes, we have given grants to the Baltimore County Public Library for events and toolkits that supports caregivers, the Better Business Bureau, in association with the Baltimore County Public Schools, who created a series of virtual and in-person programs that aim to protect kinship care families from financial fraud, as well as a grant to the Student Support Network.
I'm intrigued by this new partnership with the Better Business Bureau and Baltimore County Schools. Could you please share more details about the programming we will offer?
The Better Business Bureau created a virtual and in-person presentation on scam red flags and truth in advertising. Their goal is to empower kinship families with knowledge to protect themselves from financial fraud, helping family members become more informed, confident consumers. This, in turn, will foster greater trust and better outcomes with businesses.
It's certainly concerning to think about how older adults and their caregivers can be the target of financial fraud. So I'm pleased to hear about how the Better Business Bureau and BCPS are teaming up to combat these crimes. Kathleen, I also recall you mentioning a partnership with the Student Support Network. Could you please tell us more about that?
Sure. The Student Support Network actually serves students in 21 of the Baltimore County Public Schools. They provide hygiene products, school supplies, food, and clothing. This grant is aimed at identifying grandparents or older relatives under the Baltimore County Public School Kinship Care Program who are raising children in these schools and make sure that they have access to this network. The past quarter, we're excited to say that the Student Support Network provided food, backpacks, hygiene products, and new coats for 736 students who are being raised by these older relatives age 55 and over in Baltimore County.
We don't often think about older adults being the primary caregiver for grandchildren, but statistically, this is a growing dynamic. So it is heartwarming to see that the Caregiver Support Program continues to provide support to these families. Kathleen, does the Caregiver Support Program have any upcoming events our viewers should know about?
Yes, we do. Coming this month, Better Business Bureau will be presenting on red flag advertising and scams on March 24th at the Cockeysville Library from 5:30 to 6:30. On April 16th, we will host our next Caregiver Connection Support Group series from 1 to 2 p.m. with special guest facilitator Emily Kearns, the Dementia-Friendly coordinator for Baltimore County Department of Aging. She will be leading a discussion about the challenges of dementia in caregiving. The series runs every Thursday with special facilitators every other month. Last but not least is our upcoming annual Spring Mini Conference, held virtually on April 24th from 9 to noon. Our theme this year follows the BCDA's initiative, as entitled The Importance of Heart, Mind, and Community in Caregiving. We will have 3 professional speakers on the topics of identifying emotions in caregiving, brain health, and the importance of support groups. The library also has programs coming up, but I know we have a representative who was speaking about these.
I'll be certain to mark all of these on my calendar, as I'm sure many of our viewers will do the same. Before we go, how can our viewers contact the Baltimore County Department of Aging's Caregiver Support Program?
You can contact the Caregiver Support Program by calling our office Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4 at 410-887-4724, or you can email us at caregivers@Baltimore County, Maryland, which is md.gov. You can also check us out on the Baltimore County Department of Aging website.
Kathleen, thank you again for coming on to the show to tell us about the Caregiver Support Program, as well as these newly formed partnerships it has made across the county to better serve caregivers and those they care for.
Thank you so much for having me.
We're going to take a short break, but before we do, join approximately 8,000 mature adults who subscribe to BCDA's newspaper, The Time of Your Life Digest. Subscriptions are reasonable at $5 annually for Baltimore County residents over 60 years of age and $7 for under 60 who are Baltimore County residents or for those residing in other counties. For more information to become a subscriber, please call 410-887-3050.
Welcome back to The Time of Your Life. I'm your host, Ethel Rasmussen. Joining us now is Julie Brophy, Adult and Community Engagement Manager for the Baltimore County Public Library, here to discuss BCPL's new programming and services geared toward caregivers. Julie, welcome to The Time of Your Life.
Hi, Ethel. Thank you so much for having me.
First things first, Julie, can you tell us more about what prompted the Baltimore County Public Library to become part of the county's caregiving infrastructure?
So the library's mission is to provide opportunities for community members to explore, learn, create, and connect. And we're always looking at our evolving community to find ways to meet their needs. So as you well know, a report from the Department of Aging says that by 2030, 1 in 4 Baltimore County residents will be 60 or older. And with the county aging population rising, that means the number of caregivers is also rising. And as we thought about how we could work with caregivers more effectively, the opportunity for the library to apply for and receive a grant from the Department of Aging happened, and it was just really great timing all around. And staff in the Department of Aging's Caregiver Support Program have been incredibly supportive providing assistance and guidance as we find out how we might best support the caregiving community in Baltimore County. And we're lucky to have such great partners in this work.
It's no secret that Baltimore County Public Library has more to offer than just books and other reading materials, as evidenced by the new partnership. Can you please tell our viewers more about the Library of Things that I've been hearing about?
Absolutely. So the Library of Things is where you can find items to borrow that aren't traditionally thought of as library materials. So it expands our already amazing collection of books and CDs and audiobooks and magazines and more, so that community members of all ages can discover tools and materials. Maybe to save some money without purchasing, you can try something out before you decide if it really fits your need. So we have items in our library of things like board games, camera kits, CPR kits, fishing poles, or induction cooktops, just to name a few things. And we're thrilled to be able to expand our library of things with items we hope caregivers will find particularly useful. Some of the items that are being added to our collection are a portable pedal exerciser, a flexible grabber tool, sound machines, a magnetic track maze, and even a light therapy lamp. We're processing and adding these items to our library things collections as they sort of come in. So we expect everything to be available for checkout by late spring.
Well, I never imagined I'd one day be able to check out a light therapy lamp from my local library.
Yeah.
What an innovative approach to ensuring key tools and materials are in the hands of the public, especially for those who lack the means to purchase them. In addition to the Library of Things, I've been informed that BCPL plans to offer caregiving-centric programming. Can you please tell us more about those?
Of course. Yeah, Baltimore County Public Library, as you know, provides programs for all ages on a variety of topics year-round, but we're really excited for what we've called our Spotlight on Caregiver programs. So we're the library, so of course we have some amazing authors and speakers lined up. We're welcoming Ann Packer to discuss her new novel, Some Bright Nowhere, on Sunday, April 12th at our Owings Mills branch. Dr. Peter Rabin will be talking about his book, The 36-Hour Day. We've all felt a 36-hour day, haven't we? On Sunday, May 3rd at our Butis branch. On June 6th at our White Marsh branch, certified financial planner Beth Pinsker will tell us about the impetus for her book, My Mother's Money, and provide practical strategies for how to navigate a not so often discussed area of caregiving. Now, we're hosting programs designed for caregivers alone and for you to bring the person for whom you care with you to the library. So for caregivers, we've started a monthly caregiver meetup and well-being workshop at a Rosedale branch. We'll host Understanding Elder Law in with Maryland Legal Aid virtually on April 20th. And we're even hosting some Zentangle programs for you to unwind a bit. But caregivers and the person for whom they care can join us for things like a posture making workshop, strategies for successful aging in place, and even a cheese making class. It's lots of fun. And that's kind of our goal with these programs, is to bring information and connection and fun to the caregivers in our community. And we've placed at least one program at all of our 19 branches, and we're hosting programs virtually too. So now, some of the programs do require registration, but you can find the full list of events and details on our homepage at bcpl.info.
Julie, those sound like innovative and informative sessions, and I especially love how they're distributed around the county's 19 library branches, ensuring that there won't be geographical barriers for attendees. While we're on the topic of events, are there any other big dates on the horizon involving BCPL that our viewers should be aware of?
We've always got a lot happening at our branches and virtually, right? Lots of things, and on a variety of topics. And of course, they're all free. So, from what we'll be welcoming the master gardeners to 6 of our branches to talk about vegetable gardening in containers and sustainable gardening, and answer any questions you may have as we kind of get our gardens ready for spring. Our community shred days are back at this spring at our Rosedale, Arbutus, and Cockeysville branches. You can even learn things about Rex Manning Day or Instrument of the Ancient Americas, enjoy a performance by the a cappella group Dukes of Yale, or join us for one of our many crafting and knitting groups. And in addition to the other authors and speakers I mentioned, we'll welcome several other authors, including Lori Halsa Anderson, who wrote the classic novel Speak, to our Owings Mills branch. Author Gabrielle Serberville will talk about her book Gathered and the phenomenon of foraging, just to name a few of the authors. And of course, we always have programs where you can talk about books you've read or hear from librarians about great books to read. We always have great things happening at the library, I think, so we hope everybody will come and join us.
Well, it sure sounds like there's lots of fun to be had at Baltimore County Public Libraries this year.
Absolutely.
Julie, where can our viewers go to learn more about BCPL programs, including the expanded caregiver programming the libraries now offer?
So the best way to find out about our Spotlight on Caregiving series is to scan this QR code that's up on the screen, and it'll take you right to a blog post where you can register for programs and borrow library things items and find other resources. You can also follow us on our social media pages and reach out to any of our branches, or call us at 410-887-0238 for more info.
Okay, Julie, I have one last question for you. Could you please tell our viewers more about BCPL's mobile library and where our viewers can go to find it?
Absolutely. So we have bookmobiles that provide services throughout Baltimore County to a wide range of customers. The goal is to meet people where they are, especially to those who may have some transportation challenges. So for example, our bookmobiles visit more than 60 senior communities and senior apartments throughout the county every month. Our amazing staff bring our collection out, and customers are able to, browse our collection or place items on reserve. Staff provide a lot of book recommendations and support more than 20 book clubs that meet in these senior communities. And another way we meet people where they are is a new service we have through our Library by Mail service. Library by Mail provides free delivery of library materials via the U.S. Postal Service to any resident of Baltimore County, regardless of age, who has trouble leaving home without help and cannot get to a Baltimore County Public Library branch to borrow materials. There is a short form to fill out, but staff will work with you through the process. We want to make sure that everyone is able to access our services and our collection, and the bookmobile and Library by Mail help us bring our collection to community members who may not be able to get to a branch in any way on their own. So if you want more information about either the bookmobile or the Library by Mail service, you can call us at 410-887-7586.
Julie, thank you for coming on today to tell us about all of the wonderful programming and resources that the Baltimore County Public Library has to offer our viewers.
And thank you so much, Ethel, for having me. Really appreciate it. We look forward to seeing everyone at the library.
Actually, it was just more fun to talk to all the vendors. You know how older people are. We just want to talk to everybody, and it's like the insurance commercial. So just come next year if you just want a lot of vendors to talk to and have fun with.
The Senior Expo has been very informative. A lot of health information, transportation information that's well needed for seniors. I appreciate all the professional information that I've gotten so far today.
And you can even get your nails done. And a back massage.
I just want to tell you that this expo is lovely, and it gives me a bit of an outlook of what an old age can be. I am going to say that I love it and I enjoyed it.
I enjoy coming here because of the amazing amount of resources. There is resources in education, there's resources in housing, there is resources in helping seniors to maintain their homes. I am just thrilled to be here. You have to make sure to wear some very comfortable shoes when you come, because you're going to be walking a lot and you're going to be talking to many, many vendors who are here. And I am just so grateful to the Department of Aging for creating such an event for many of our seniors who really need this experience and really need these resources. So I'm very happy to be here, and I'm glad that I was stopped to give a little testimony about why I love it so much.
Hello, I'm Ethel Rasmussen, your host for this caregiving focused episode of The Time of Your Life. Joining me now is Emily Kearns, dementia specialist and coordinator for Dementia-Friendly Baltimore County, here to discuss the slate of new programming community partners are offering for people with dementia and their caregivers. Emily, it is my pleasure to welcome you back to the show.
It's lovely to be here. Thanks for having me, Ethel.
Emily, before we dive into learning more about these exciting new partnerships, could you please tell our viewers about Dementia-Friendly Baltimore County?
Sure, I'd love to. Dementia-Friendly Baltimore County, although led by Baltimore County Department of Aging, is really held by a leadership team of community movers and shakers. And we are part of Dementia-Friendly America, a national social movement to raise awareness about dementia through community education programs, growing resources, working with businesses to become more dementia-friendly, and more. The leaders are quite remarkable, as is the support from the Department of Aging.
Thank you for informing our viewers about this key program offered by the Baltimore County Department of Aging, Emily. Now, can you tell us more about the creative engagement grants that Dementia-Friendly Baltimore County has been awarding to local community partners?
Sure, thank you for asking. So for the past 4 years, we have had a mini-grant program. We have put out a request for proposals for a public bid for nonprofits to provide creative engagement for caregivers and those living with dementia. Some of these are memory cafes, which are tried and true models that have come over from Europe and have proliferated across the country. But now others have joined in the creative engagement programming, offering nature series, offering choirs, integrated choirs with those living with cognitive challenges and those who are more typically aging. And so this year we have 7 grantees doing remarkable work.
Wow, it's certainly inspiring to hear about these new partnerships with local organizations to provide programming for people with dementia and their care partners. If I recall, you mentioned memory cafes. Could you please tell me and our viewers more about what exactly these are?
Sure. Memory cafes are incredible events and incredible community happenings, I'll say, where caregivers or care partners and those living with dementia can go together to experience community and fun with the creative, engaging activities. Also, there are refreshments, foods, and they are scattered throughout the community. Each cafe has its own personality. For example, some are at senior centers, others are at faith communities, others are at nature sites, and it's interesting. I call it restorative respite because oftentimes always care partners need a break, which is respite. And oftentimes we think about respite as leaving our companion, our loved one who's living with dementia and getting a break. But here, this is restorative respite because the partners go together and actually have fun together. So often the care partner becomes social worker, nurse aide, and the original relationship, whether it's a partner, spouse, or adult child, really becomes strained and oftentimes lost. But at the Memory Cafe, that original relationship can be restored through having fun, storytelling, through crafts. One of the cafes is a sensory garden, so being out in nature, but again, together.
Emily, those certainly sound like invaluable programs for people on the dementia journey. Now that we've established what a memory cafe is, can you please tell our viewers about the specific programs being offered across Baltimore County?
Sure. So I have a list of wonderful programs that were funded this year. Some of them have been going, continually for the past 2 or 3 years, and now they're refunded. Others are brand new. And I will go through them now, but if you have questions about any of them, you can always just reach out to us, and we have a flyer with all of them. But we have memory cafes, for example, that are of the ilk that I just described, that model. We have them at the Golden Age Village, which is through the Islamic Society of Baltimore. We have another one at the Jewish Community Services. We have another at Morning Star Baptist Church, that's new. Neighborhood Companions. Talmar, which is a horticultural and therapeutic center. And then we have other programs that aren't exactly the Memory Cafe, but they're quite similar. Again, the care partner and the person living with dementia go together. So we have at the Well for the Journey, we have a nature series. At Iris Music Project, we have a choir, which is really amazing. And so these are all unfolding, just starting for this new year.
What an extensive, diverse array of programs tailored specifically to people with dementia and their care partners. I'll also note that it's terrific to see that these partners and programs are distributed across the county. So people from Pikesville to Dundalk and everywhere in between can access them. Emily, where can viewers go to learn more about these programs as well as more about Dementia-Friendly Baltimore County?
Great. They can reach out to us through the Caregiver Support Program here at Baltimore County Department of Aging, or they can reach out directly to me at the Dementia-Friendly Program. My direct email is dementiafriendly@baltimorecountymd.gov, or they can call me directly 410-887-4751.
I have one last question for you. What are some ways that our viewers can support the efforts of Dementia-Friendly Baltimore County?
Right. So as I said, this is really a community-led initiative. We have more than 50 folks who meet quarterly virtually on this leadership team. And the leadership team identifies priorities for the year, and this year is growing dementia-friendly businesses. So you could become part of that leadership team. You could also become a trained presenter that we refer to as champions. In a 2-hour free virtual training, you'll learn how to present with a workbook that is a national curriculum, and you go around the community wherever you're comfortable, faith communities, your book club, your extended family, and the only ask is that you present once a year, although more, of course, is wonderful. So you could become a presenter, you could be part of our leadership team, you could also do a deeper dive and become part of a working group that meets more than quarterly, like monthly. And right now that work group is working with businesses so that their products and services become accessible to all, even those of us who are living with cognitive challenges and maybe need a little bit more support while shopping and dining and things like that.
Emily, thank you for coming on the Time of Your Life to share these exciting new partnerships aimed at improving the lives of people with dementia and their care partners.
Thank you for having me, Ethel, and thank you for all your support.
That's today's show. Thank you for spending your time with us. Please remember you can call the Department of Aging's information line called Maryland Access Point of Baltimore County, or MAP, at 410-887-2594 with questions pertaining to older adults and persons with disabilities. This show may also be viewed anytime on the Baltimore County government's YouTube channel at youtube.com/baltcogov with open captioning. That brings us to the conclusion of this edition of The Time of Your Life, a National Mature Media Award winner, about the services and contemporary topics that keep you in the know. Until next time.